What's up? What's good? It's your girl Jasmine back with another video on the channel. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Okay, so we got ranking the top five, every top five from every era. Now, this is probably just somebody's opinion of their top five, but I got told to do this video, see my thoughts on it, hear about it, and maybe agree or disagree with the top five or add in my own. I don't know, but either way, I'm going to have a good time with this video because what is basketball? I love basketball, and I'm just grateful that you all clicked on this video, that you're watching and supporting. I appreciate you, and hopefully you'll comment and talk to me down below in the comments, and most importantly, you'll subscribe and turn on that post notification bell so you know when I post. All right, so with that being said, let's see the top five from every era, and I think we're starting. I don't even know what era we're starting in. Let's go.
Stat side, I only looked at playoff numbers, as those stats are far more important and far more telling of how great a player was. So with that being said, let's rank the best starting five from every era. So first up at number 6, we have the 1970s.
So we got Frazier, Pistol Pete. Oh shoot, I don't know who this is. Seen him before, but can't think of his name. And of course, you got Kareem. Okay, so starting with the 70s era, I'm not even gonna hold you. I know some players from the 70s, like Kareem, Walt Frazier. I just heard of Pistol Pete like almost a week ago. You got Bird. But see, is that really because the 70s and 80s era get a little tricky. Because 80s, I guess you can count Bird and Magic in the 80s area. Yeah, 80s era. Yeah. 70s is a little too old for me. You know, you have more of the rebounders, tall era, you know? You didn't have too many of the other stuff.
In this decade, features point guard Walt Frazier, shooting guard Pete Maravich, small forward Rick Barry, power forward Alvin
That's
Hayes,
Rick Barry?
and center Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
That is Rick Barry, bro. Wow, he looked totally different. I mean, now that he says it, I can see that's Rick Barry, but wow, who would have known? But let's go.
You have two of the best scorers of all time, that being Pete Maravich and Rick Barry, two guys who were definitely ahead of their time when it came to
I definitely know who
and overall
Rick
skill
Barry
and finesse.
is.
And of course you have Kareem, who's an automatic bucket with his skyhook shot. Now we're looking at the starting five. Together, they won 5 championships, 5 MVPs, they were 37-time All-Stars, they scored 7,000 points, 3,000 boards, and 1,000.
Excuse me? 37 All-Stars? Hold on. What? That's not even how do you do that? 37? How long was he in the league?
Assists. And we look at how those rank versus the other eras.
What do you
They rank
mean
last
37?
in every single category, which is pretty unfortunate.
Like,
But in the 1970s,
I don't know
you
what
had
that
two different leagues, the ABA as well as the NBA, which split a lot of the talent up and made this one of the weaker eras in NBA history. And like I said before, this lineup is pretty evenly balanced in offense and defense. But when it comes to ranking them versus the other eras, I rank the 1970s starting five at the number 6 spot. Now, next up at number 5, we have the 1960s.
the 60s. Boy. Let me see who I know on here from the 60s. First of all, he looked like Otto Porter. Is it Otto Porter Jr. from the Warriors? I don't even know if he's a junior, but he looked like Otto Porter. And I know who that is. Is that Chamberlain? It's Jerry. My God. I don't know who that is.
And for this era at point guard, you have Oscar Robertson. At shooting guard, you have Jerry West. Small forward, Elgin Baylor. Power forward, Bill Russell. And center, Wilt Chamberlain.
That's Bill Russell, bro. See what I'm saying? Okay, so I had Wilt Chamberlain, Jerry West, right? I heard of the rest of the guys. They just didn't look like who... They don't look like who they are. Like, I hope that makes sense, but probably don't.
Chamberlain.
Like, that don't look like
And
no
this
Bill
group right here,
Frazier.
offensively, this is dominance in any group. You have Oscar Robertson, a walking triple-double. Jerry West, an elite scorer in the playoffs. Elgin Baylor, the original high-flying forward. Bill Russell, one of the best defenders of all time when it came to shot blocking and his overall defensive IQ. And of course, Wilt the Stilt, who was dominant on both ends and a physical force of nature for his time.
That's crazy.
And his starting five combined won 10 championships.
How'd you win 10 championships? Like, was you really that dominant to win 10? Remember when they said he scored 100 points in a game? And there's no, it ain't no footage, right? It's just him holding that picture. What y'all think? Y'all think he really did it? Y'all think he was really beasting like it? Like, what was the season like? Like 10 championships, bro? Like, who? Everybody had to been trash. 10? Like, what was the time frame that you won? You had to win every year, bro.
Were 47-time All-Stars. They scored over 12,000 points, had over 8,000 boards, and 24
And what I mean,
assists.
how do you get so many
And we're looking at how they rank
All-Stars?
versus the other eras. They have some strong points as well as some weak points. Of course, making 47 All-Star games is a huge plus, and having 8,000 boards,
Like, what does
in
that
main part due
mean?
to Russell and Chamberlain, is a big plus for this era in the starting five. But I think the lack of playoff success for this era outside of Bill
Look at
Russell
that.
when it comes to winning championships holds them back from being higher on my list. But still, the starting five is extremely talented on offense as well as defense. And when you have a backcourt of Jerry West and Oscar Robertson, you can't go wrong with those two guys. Now, next up,
Time out, bro. Time out. I think I'm having a slow moment, and I'm not even gonna hold you. And I'm gonna be real with you, and I'm not gonna cut none of this out just because everybody has one of these moments. So what he's doing, and it's clicking now. It's here, and you can call me slow. I don't care what you say. Maybe I just didn't hear him explain it the first time, and it's just now clicking. But apparently, that stats is for the whole starting five. It's not just that one person. He threw me off because he shows. Let me show you. Hold on. He threw me off because he shows Wilt Chamberlain's face. So I'm thinking this is his stats, like an idiot. That's why I was like, how did you win 10 NBA championships, bro? But I get it. With that whole team combined, that's what they got. I got you now. I got you. All right, let's go. 2010s, let's go.
and for this era, you have
Dang,
Steph
he
Curry,
skipped like the
James
80s and the
Harden,
90s.
LeBron James,
How you
Kevin
do that?
Durant, and Boogie Cousins. And for this specific starting five, the
Cousins?
weakest point they have is these
In 2010s? 2010 or what? Cousins? That's tricky. I don't know. You had a lot of good dominant. Nothing against Boogie though. Nothing against Cousins, but you had a lot of other dominance in 2010 though.
center position, and DeMarcus Cousins, almost by default, wins this spot as the best center from this era. And the obvious strong point for this group is offensive dominance. You have Steph Curry, one of the most impactful offensive players of all time, James Harden, a lethal offensive force whose step-back jumper has revolutionized the NBA game. You have LeBron James, who at his peak was the best all-around player in the NBA. You have Kevin Durant, who you could argue is the most talented scorer of all time, given the fact he's 7 foot tall and can pull it from 35 feet. And overall offensive talent is definitely not a problem for this group. I think the weak point for them is on the defensive end, as LeBron James is the only real dominant defender out of this group. But even that being said, accolades-wise, this starting five, they were 8-time champions, 12-time MVPs, 37-time All-Stars. They scored 14,000 points, had just under 4,000 boards, and just slightly over 3,000 assists. And
I'm not sure if I agree with that, honestly. But let me keep watching because, let me see who he has in the early 2000s.
now getting to the halfway point, we have the
He should have went in order.
1990s, and the starting
Like
five.
60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. And then, you know what I'm saying? He should have went like that. But that 2000s was interesting.
Reveal salon shine at home. Ever
What y'all think? Are y'all agreeing or disagreeing? Like, what y'all think?
Pippen, Karl Malone, and Akeem.
Like, if you still hearing this video, comment down below who would be in your top 5 from each era. Or if you just want to pick one era, who would be your top 5? Or you just want to pick your best top 5 ever, like, comment down below, because I would definitely love to see those.
Olajuwon. And this group right here has 2 top 10 players of all time, and a guy in John Stockton, Karl Malone, who have great
That's a nice
longevity.
lineup right there.
And
I'm not
small
going to
forward,
hold you.
You have one of the best lockdown defenders
But
of
you
all
gotta-
time in Scottie Pippen. And obviously the 2 best players in this group are Jordan and Akeem, top 10 players of all time,
No.
and outstanding two-way
Mutombo.
players. The weak points for this
Mutombo.
group have been John Stockton and Scottie Pippen. Stockton in his time had great longevity, but he was never really an elite playoff performer, one of the top tier players in the NBA. And we're looking at Scottie, obviously, he's a great defender.
You know what's sad and what has to suck is being an amazing player, but when it comes playoff time, you're quiet. Like, I feel like not every team, but a lot of teams have that player where they great during the season, great. The whole team's great. Then it's playoff time, it's quiet. Like that star is not doing their star motives, like what they're supposed to do to carry out the team during playoff time. That extra push, the team is like playing like they ain't never played a game before. Like it's real.
But
like,
I think historically,
really
he ranks last of these 5 players. I think him not being a superstar is a little bit of a knock on the starting 5. Also, Karl Malone was a big-time playoff choker, which in my eyes really down compared to the rest. But if you want to
He said a big-time playoff choker.
He's a 14-time champion.
That is funny.
15-time MVP, 38-time All-Stars, scored 15,000 points, had 5,000 boards, and just under 4,000 assists.
I mean, I get why he does that, but then at the same time, I don't. I mean, I guess it just helps explain his reason why he picked him. I mean, that's cool. Okay, so now let's get into the 2000s. Sorry, y'all, if I'm bothering y'all by skipping ahead, but
middle of the pack.
Let's get going.
Now, move on number 2. We have the 2000s.
Okay, 2000s, which was, I feel like, the 80s to like 2010, maybe 12. Basketball was bumping. Okay, basketball was jumping. Like, there was not, you can't say a sentence without basketball in it because it was far. You gonna watch the game? You already know I'm gonna watch the game tonight. You gonna support? You already know I'm going to watch the game tonight. It was one of those mojos. It was one of those time frames, you know. But okay, let's see. We got Nash, Kobe, LeBron, Tim, Shaq. Dang, that's tough. No Dwayne Wade. That's tough. No Dwayne Wade. If you don't know, my favorite player is Dwayne Wade. Now, come on now. Stop playing.
And for the starting 5, you have Steve Nash, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, Tim Duncan, and Shaq. And for this starting 5,
there's a lot of shooters,
all-time great talent,
great players in the
top 10
world.
Players of all time,
and to really pick a 5 from each era,
top 35. And you could very well argue the starting 5 has 3 of the top 5 greatest players of all time, whether that be Kobe, LeBron, and Duncan, or Kobe, LeBron, and Shaq. And out of the entire list, I think if we had an actual real basketball team, this starting 5 would be most
Nash
successful.
was a beast,
boy!
boy.
Who doesn't have to shoot the ball to be effective. You have Kobe, the elite scorer, the killer mentality. You have LeBron James, the do-it-all small forward, who can pass, score, and rebound. You have Tim
Sorry,
Duncan,
I'm gonna put y'all to the other side so I can see
and
this
great
time.
leader. And you have Shaq, one of the most dominant players ever on the block. And the only
So y'all think Shaq the most dominant ever? Big man down low? Y'all think that? Shaq in his prime, beast. Beast. Yeah, I can't wait to see y'all lineup. I definitely want to know y'all lineup. Okay, so now we go into the 80s. Let's go.
I think number 1 spot, I think it's no surprise.
Dang. So this is a nice little lineup right here. All right, so you got Magic, Jordan, Larry, Kevin McCall. That's interesting. And then you got what's his name? Kareem?
Prize. You have the 1980s. And the starting 5 is absolutely loaded.
That's
you have
a fire
Magic Johnson,
lineup. That's a
greatest
fire
point guard of all
lineup.
time. Michael Jordan, greatest player of all time. Larry Bird, a top 2 small forward, a top 10 player. Kevin McHale, one of the best post-up players of all time. And Kareem, a top 3 or top 5 player ever. And we're looking at this starting 5 offensively. They're by far the most dominant team when it comes to that aspect. As you have Magic running the show, Jordan flying in from the wings, Bird shooting threes, and McHale and Kareem dominating on the blocks on either side. I think the overall talent this team has, they have very few weak points, and if they did have one, it would be on the defensive end.
Yeah.
But offensively, they have virtually everything, and they have the greatest point guard of all time leading the show. And if you look at their overall accolades, they won 17 championships, the most on this list.
Alright, man. So, see, I'm the type of person, you got to have a good bench, too. Not only the starting 5, but you got to have a good bench. The bench makes a lot of difference in the world, which a lot of people forget. But, yeah. I mean, I think the video was good. I think he had some interesting points on his starting five. I don't agree with the 2010s era, and like I said, it's a lot of great players, even on the superstar statuses that don't get their flowers like they supposed to. So I definitely would love to see y'all comments down below on what's your best starting five from each era, or one era, or whatever the case may be, your starting five ever. I'll definitely like to see that down below. Hope you guys enjoy this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, push the notification bell. Let me know what interviews you like to see me do. With that being said, see you guys next video.